Detroit Den family, welcome back. Stephen Will here. We are getting ready to talk some Detroit Lions football. It's game day for the Chicago Bears. We're going to be doing our game day episode. Before we get into it, hit that subscribe button for us. Will, last time we faced the Chicago Bears, we had to fight and claw our way and absolutely rob the Bears of a win. You think we can do that again, or are we going to be more dominant this week?
I mean, you're never going to hear me say that I think that we can't win, but I think that we're going to be in for a dogfight, man. I'm interested to see how we deal with Justin Fields.
I'm tired of dogfights. I just want a nice, easy Sunday where I can just kick back, throw some ribs on the smoker, have a drink, just watch the Lions decimate a team would be nice. We haven't seen that in a while. Last time we played the Bears, came down to pretty much the last play of the game. We had to fight, claw, get our way back into it, steal it from them, like I said. Justin Fields is a problem. We all know that. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about Detroit Lions injury news.
Yep.
You think Frank Ragnow is going to play? I mean, the time of this recording, we do not have the in and out. Who's what do you want to call it? The full injury report, the official injury report. We don't have that, so we're just speculating at this point. But Frank Ragnow likely to miss. How you feel?
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll probably sit out this one as well. Just because in the press conference, Dan Campbell was talking about Graham Glasgow playing center. So I think that's probably what we'll see. And hopefully we don't see Kobe Sorsdahl.
That's what I was just going to say is I don't mind Graham sliding over to center. He's played very well there. My concern is Colby Sorsdahl at right guard.
Yep.
Just not very effective.
Yeah. I hate to beat him up, but he did look real bad the last game. You had talked about it right there after the game, and then I didn't really get an opportunity to watch him that much, from live watching the game. But then when I went back and watched it, it was bad. PFF grade, bad. I don't know. He's either got to step it up or we need to go a different route.
I'm just going to tell you, his report card reminded me a lot of my report cards from school. You got to get home before mom does. Get in the mail, hide that thing. Hide that thing.
That bad boy.
Yeah, he didn't look good, and it's weird because one of the jobs as an offensive lineman, I feel like maybe I'm wrong, is to block people, which he just wasn't doing. So
yeah, he kind of refused to do that. It wasn't good.
But good news, should have Alex Anzalone back this week. He was a full practice the other day, so I think he's trending towards playing. So we'll get a little help on defense there. Very unsung hero of the Detroit Lions, probably defensive player of the year for them, I would say.
Yeah,
for the Lions, not in the league. Let me just clarify that. But all right, now let's talk a little game day, man. We kind of hinted at it. What are some keys to victory?
Obviously keeping Justin Fields in that box, man. Not letting him run around, do whatever he wants. He was a running back last time we played, just like he always was or always is, and he was able to make some deep throws too once he got hot. So got to slow down Justin Fields, playing at home, coming off of a bye week. One thing that Mark Brunell said in his press conference that kind of stood out to me was teams coming off of their bye weeks, they get the opportunity to install some things that you probably haven't seen all year. They get an opportunity to rest up, and this team is angry, and they got one stole from them in their minds last time, so they're going to be looking out to make a statement and get it back. So that's what worries me. It's got to slow down Justin Fields. What you thinking?
I mean, obviously you're right. You have to stop Justin Fields. The problem is you're just not going to. We just don't have the personnel to really use the word stop. I think we need to limit him, not let him get like a nice 70-yard touchdown run. I remember he had a monster run against us last year in Chicago. But we just, like we've said, we've accepted what this defense is. We've accepted what we're going to be. We're going to be a team that has to win shootouts. So I think if you look at the offenses, we have more weapons. Defensively, obviously, they're much better than we are. It's going to be I feel like it's just going to be an ugly game. Just one we're probably going to have to just battle back and forth, possession for possession. It might come down to who has the football last. I don't think it's not exactly a hot take. It's just, I don't see us getting stops. I just really don't.
Yeah. I think a word that I kind of created for the Detroit Lions a couple of days ago in this defense was controlled shootouts. And what I mean by that is we are going to have to find a way to just get a couple of stops at key situations. So maybe if we don't get the ball in the first half, right, get a stop in that opening drive, go down and score, get up, get a stop before halftime to secure your 7-point, 10-point lead, get the ball out at half, score again, create a gap like that. Like I know that this isn't going to be a defense this season that's just going to be shutting teams down, but if we get stops, if we hold teams to 3 at opportune times with this offense, that I truly think, man, we have not seen this offense open up yet. I think that this team can be successful and make a run. I know maybe that's the optimist in me. A lot of people are more pessimistic on Twitter and have been hammering me for these thoughts, but I truly think we haven't seen this offense yet. I think there's more that we're going to see out of JMO. I think there's more that we're going to see out of Jahmyr Gibbs. We haven't seen all the stuff that they talked about in the offseason about how they're going to use him as a weapon, how they were going to split him out at slot receiver, and he was going to be moved around. I haven't even seen him featured in the receiving game truly yet. So those are the things that I'm excited for, and those are the reasons that I'm optimistic about this offense.
William, this Detroit Lions defense has just broken my spirits. I just see all the potential in this team, and I just see this defensive line just absolutely crippling this team. Like I knew it wouldn't be like the top defensive line in the league, but I also didn't think that it would just be like I'm ready to jump off a tall building, but kind of bad.
It's I'm interested to see if Isaiah Buggs plays, what Broderick Martin does with this opportunity, if he's going to get more snaps, and how he looks and how he develops over the next few weeks if he does get a lot of playing time. And if we can develop some ways to create some pressures that we haven't seen yet. I really liked how Jerm looked at linebacker at times. I didn't realize how good he runs, man. He runs well. I'm interested to see if they use him as a piece a little bit more defensively, and if he's used to kind of keep Justin Fields, from running all over the place, because I love the way he runs, man. Malcolm ran pretty good last week in lieu of Anceloni being out. So are we going to do some more packages to where we got those backers out there, not necessarily spying, but kind of just trying to keep Fields inside of that pocket and making throws from the pocket?
You think Justin Fields is an elite passer?
I think that he has the potential to be an elite passer. I think a lot of people have given up on him. And, I bust his chops because he's not a Lion and talk about how terrible he is, but I don't truly mean that. He throws the deep ball well. He's an athlete, but I mean, is he in the top 10 of quarterbacks? No. But do I think that he has top 10 quarterback potential? I do. And the reason why I say that is because I just think of somebody like Jalen Hurts. It's kind of, he reminds me of that type of guy. He's an athlete with his feet, but he doesn't have those same pieces that they got in Philly. So I think if Justin Fields was playing behind Philadelphia's offensive line, if he had guys like Devonta Smith and AJ Brown and running backs by committee that can actually get it done behind him, I think Justin Fields could be a threat, man. So yeah, I think that he has some elite tools and elite potential. He's just not there yet.
Hopefully that happens for him on his next team when the Chicago Bears draft Caleb Williams this offseason. So
Yeah, I agree. I
good
think
luck.
that's what's going to happen.
Good luck in your future. Good luck in Buffalo or wherever the hell they send you. Cleveland, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Justin Fields is an elite passer. I think if you can make him pass the ball, he doesn't have the patience. I don't think he has the pocket presence. But what he does is he's one of the best athletes in the NFL. He's probably right up there with Lamar Jackson, maybe a little better just because he's a little younger. I don't know. I think if you make him pass, he's going to turn the ball over. He's going to make a mistake. He gets a little happy feet. He doesn't settle himself. He looks to run, and he can run. So that's the problem is when he gets excited and he starts to get a little anxiety in that pocket, he's more than capable of just taking off, getting outside, getting 5-6 yards. And I've seen him more than once break off a 50-plus yarder. So he's got that kind of athleticism that scares me. But when it comes to just passing, I'm not worried about his passing game.
Yeah, I am. I worry about when he breaks that pocket and makes throws, on the run. He's a great passer after the play has broken down and he's scrambling around doing scramble drills back there looking for guys to get open. I think he's thrown a couple of touchdowns to Cole Kmet like that. Same thing with DJ Moore. And he's had some huge plays to Mooney, So I mean, it's that's what I worry about, man. Him getting hot. Once he gets hot, man, if he can stay healthy and not run the ball as much as he typically does, because they have a lot of designed QB runs too. So it's like, I don't know, man. He scares me with the potential of him getting hot and getting rolling. But if we completely make him play the game 90%, staying in that pocket, growing through the progression, I would be okay with it.
So last time we played the Bears just a few weeks ago, Jared Goff was awful is a nice way to put it. He was just awful. Started his stretch of turnovers between the Bears and Packers game, 6 turnovers, should have been 7 or 8, got away with a couple. My key to the Lions winning this game is the Detroit Lions offensive line. Our strongest unit, we've kind of talked about it. We're shuffling some pieces around. We got Colby Swordsdahl most likely playing right guard. If we can run the ball, take that pressure off Jared Goff and just kind of let him, I think this is the game where he needs to be that game manager. This is the game where he needs to kind of bring it down a little bit, rely on that run game and not have as many passing attempts, because I know last time we played the Bears, we were down. He had to pass the ball way more than I would have liked. 3 interceptions. I'm thinking if we can get that offensive line clicking, get our running game clicking, just kind of keep pounding the ball, moving the chains, take the turnovers away, and don't give the Bears 3 extra possessions to get turned into a points, and we won't have a game like we did last time.
Yeah, I'm worried about that though, man. I agree. If we can run the ball, we'll have a good day. But I don't think that we're just going to go out to Chicago and run the ball. That defense has been looking good ever since they signed Montez Sweat. I feel like that has kind of lit a spark under that defense. They've had a full 2 weeks now to prepare for us and rest up. I think that we're going to be in for a dogfight. I think that it's going to be another one of those games to where the rushing looks like maybe less than 100 yards, maybe 80 yards rushing, something like that. I don't think it's going to be one of those games where we just pound it down their throat. I'm anticipating an ugly game where hopefully Jared Goff can find a way to make some plays. I think you're going to see the Khalif Raymond type plays, drags over the middle, reverses, J-Mo getting loose on some plays. I think they're going to try to take away Amon-Ra St. Brown and David Montgomery right out of the gate. Right. And we're going to have to go to some other guys, our Josh Reynolds, like our role players. They're going to have to make some plays, man, and do what they've been doing throughout the season when we needed them to for this thing to be successful. But my worry about this game from a 1 to 10 is a 9, just because Bears coming off the bye week, Bears having something to prove, and Bears wanting to compete. And I think the Bears always typically find a way to just ruin opportunities. So they got an opportunity to be picking at the top of this draft, and I think they're gonna mess around and win enough games to move that pick down.
Well, unfortunately, they still have the Carolina pick. So.
I know.
But you mentioned, the Bears taking away St. Brown and Montgomery and Gibbs. You can't give an honorable mention to my guy Sam Laporta, aka Sam Lagoda.
Oh God! Oh my God!
I've had that one in my back pocket all day. I knew you were gonna.
Yeah, and I know you guys are probably about to take off with that.
Sam Lagoda, baby. We're making it happen. I'm gonna get a Sam Laporta jersey, and I'm gonna get a custom one. And I wanted to say Lagoda with the little emoji and all.
I thought I was done with the Goda references, but
Never.
Anyways, the only reason why I didn't mention him is because I think that while he had a phenomenal game last game, and he's been pretty consistent throughout the season, I think that we're still not at the spot to where teams are going to be game planning for him over Amon-Ra. So I think, exactly. And I think if I'm going to deal with the ball in one of those guys' hands, or one of the 3 between Montgomery, Amon-Ra, or Laporta, while Laporta runs well, I would rather have him running with the ball than the other 2. So while he has been phenomenal, I think that he's going to get his opportunities to do his thing still.
And also, you're not going to mention this is kind of a revenge. You mentioned revenge and David Montgomery going back to Chicago. He's got a little something to prove. He's got that chip on his shoulder. He wants to go back in front of the Chicago fans and say, hey, you guys let me get out of town. This is what I'm going to do. I think he's going to have I think you're right about the Bears defense. They're very good at all 3 levels: defensive line, linebackers, secondary. But I think, our offensive line, if healthy, if Colby Swordsdahl decides to play, be any type of aggressive this game, we could have a decent day on the ground. I don't think 250 yards or anything like that, but I can see us running for 130 as a team, and I think that might be just enough.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I hope that I'm wrong, but David Montgomery, you don't think he got his revenge when he did the game-winning touchdown in Detroit?
There's a different type of revenge when you're playing on the road, where your former home team used to be.
No, I 100% agree. I was setting you up for that one.
Never.
I got it. I got it noted right here, man. I
Mm.
think David Montgomery does run hard, but I think that would be the best case scenario for him. Him doing some goal line touchdowns. I don't think we're going to see him rushing for a bunch of yards unless he just breaks off a long run on a busted defense. But I don't think that we're going to see him taking it off in 4 and 5 yard chunks and just pounding it down their throat. But I think what we could see is Jahmyr Gibbs catching a lot of passes out of the backfield. If the run game isn't working and we have to go to those sets to where we got Gibbs in, or we actually finally show Gibbs playing a little bit of receiver, I think he could get a lot of reception. So guys, fantasy guys, you might want to take that into consideration. You're welcome.
It's playoffs. I don't know anything about fantasy football. I didn't make playoffs, so fantasy football's done to me. Jameson Williams. I have been calling for this kid to get the ball in his hands more than twice a game for I don't know how long now. Do you think today or this game is going to be one of those times where we just see maybe a huge number for Jameson Williams and he touches the ball 5 times? Like, that's a huge number for him.
Maybe 5 times, but I don't think that we're going to see Jameson Williams get featured until this team gets in trouble and needs a win, like really needs a win on the back end of this thing, or comes playoff times. I think really Ben Johnson is really keeping some things in his back pocket. I know a couple of times people have said that, they don't believe that that's happening, but I 100% do. I think that there's sets that we haven't even seen yet that we're probably practicing every single day and have been probably had installed since training camp. I think that the trust level for J-Mo has been through the roof, but there's no way that you're going to tell me you've had J-Mo on the team for 2 seasons and you haven't been scheming some things up for him, especially. And now that the trust is there, get ready.
I just need to see more than 2 touches. Like, I don't think 5's an insane number. I don't think you're tipping your hand too much by getting the most explosive player on either side of the field 5 touches a game. Like, we've seen what he can do on some reverses, some drag routes. We've seen what he can do on the deep ball at times. Just, I don't understand. I think this, you've been saying this whole episode that this is going to be an ugly game. And they're going to be game planning for all these other players. This might be a game where he does break out.
Yeah, I could see him make some plays. I just don't think that he's going to be featured. I think we're going to see that on the back half of the season if we need wins or in the playoffs. I think come playoff time, we're going to see J-Mo get featured, and it's going to be special. And nobody is going to be, have dealt with it yet. Either on the back half of the season if we need wins and we don't have things secured, or like I said, come playoff times, I think you're going to see J-Mo be number 1 in the progression of the plays called for some downhill plays or downfield plays. So you're going to see him 10 yards, 15 yards plus down the field running routes that are the route combination is for him to come open and us to get big plays, kind of like similar to some Tyreek Hill type stuff. I think it would be crazy for that not to be going down.
Fair. It's fair. So, final question. What's your biggest concern going into this game?
Justin Fields. Simple.
End of list. I'll go to the other side, but with the same concern, defensive line. Like, our defensive line, you think like maybe accidentally we might have a good game defensive line wise? I mean, we're kind of getting down to the nitty gritty. I mean, I don't know. I think if Hutch can get after him a couple times and maybe force a couple turnovers, as much as people I've seen some Lions fans starting to, I don't want to use the words turn on Hutch, but kind of criticize aggressively is a term I'll use. Aiden Hutchinson's not getting sacks. We're all well aware. We're all also well aware that he's getting double teamed every single game, whether it's chipped, pushed inside by a tight end or a running back. He's still in the top 10 for QB pressures. He's right up there with the big dogs in the game of Nick Bosa's, TJ Watts. His name's in that same category. If he can put some pressure on Justin Fields, kind of maybe get him to alligator arm a couple balls here and there, that's kind of how we're getting quote unquote QB sacks, by forcing incompletions. And I think that's what Hutchinson's going to be doing very well the rest of the season, because I don't see him getting more than a couple sacks unless a miracle happens.
I'll tell you this. I think people are just now recognizing that Hutch is a player that is going to be solid for us for 10 years.
But he needs some help.
But he's not going to be great. He's not going to be great. He's going to be solid, really good, but great is different. And I hate to even say this out loud because you know how I feel about him. But Micah Parsons is great. TJ Watt, great. And by that, I mean, you can move him to the middle of the field. You can move him to the outside. You can do stunts with them. And they can get home because they get there so fast and they evade the blocker so fast that even though the double teams are there, they can still get home. Even though they're getting double team chipped and almost falling, they can still make it to the quarterback. And the game plan is for it to stop them. They can still make it to the quarterback. That's not what Aiden is. He's a true defensive end. Right? He can rush the passer, right? And he can stop the run, but he doesn't have that elite twitchiness or the versatility that you're going to get from a Micah Parsons or a TJ Watt. You're not, even though I know Aiden's had some interceptions, he's dropped back in coverage a little bit. He's not going to drop back in coverage and run with a running back or a tight end, right? TJ Watt and Micah Parsons, they're going to be able to do those things. So I think that's the difference that we're seeing. But if that was your expectation, then you didn't scout well. Aiden is doing exactly what we expected Aiden to do, being an absolute beast, rushing the passer, getting pressures. He needs help though. For his style of rushing and his style of defensive end play, he needs help. He needs that Robin to him being Batman, man. And if we get a little bit more out of Bruce Irvin, if we get a little bit more out of Jalen Reeves-Maven, to where we can do some stunts, to where we can create pressure from the other side, to where we can make that quarterback have to step up or step over towards Aiden, teams are going to be in trouble.
Maybe next year.
Yep.
Maybe next year we'll have a dominant defense, but this year we just know what it is. Yeah. Going to have to win some shootouts. So your concerns, Justin Fields. My concerns, defensive line. They kind of go hand in hand. Got to keep him contained somehow. Got to limit Justin Fields' impact on this game because he's going to have one. There's no stopping a player like Justin Fields. You really just have to try to limit him. But give me a score prediction.
I think it's going to be ugly. My score prediction is going to be, I hate doing this, but
you have to do it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with I'm going to go 24-20.
Lions? Come on, who's the winner? Who's the winner?
I'll never pick anybody else.
All right. Well, gotta get it on the record.
It could be Tom Brady on the other side. I'm not picking anybody else.
I'm willing to bet that you're right about this being an ugly game. I don't think this is going to be like the game I want it to be, like I said, where I'm just throwing some ribs on the smoker, having a couple of drinks, sitting back and enjoying my Sunday. Mm-hmm. Ugly win, high anxiety, no fingernails. Lions win 17-13.
I'll take it.
So, guys, that's our game day show. We've put a lot of information out there. Let us know how you feel. If you're confident, if you're not confident, what your concerns are, who's going to win the game. Hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. We'll be back. Hopefully talking Lions win. Hopefully we're talking playoffs here soon. 10-3 at the end of the day.
Love it.
Love it. Let's talk about it. We'll have our pregame up, or this is the pregame. We'll have a postgame up right after the game. Stay tuned. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss it. We'll be back, guys.
Peace.